Hello and welcome to Lesson 3 of Key Question 5, Keeping Up Morale of Depression, War and Recovery, 1930 to 1951. Today, what we're going to be looking at is different campaigns. In particular, we're going to be looking at the Spitfire campaign and we're going to be looking at the Dig for Victory campaign and how effective they were in actually keeping up morale, a word we're using quite a lot at the minute during the war. So by the end of the lesson, you're going to understand what the campaigns did to lift morale. You're going to know what the Dig for Victory and Spitfire campaigns were all about, and you're going to think about which one you think was more effective at maintaining wartime morale. So what do we think by the word effective means? So I've just got a bit of a definition here for you. So successful in producing a desired or intended result, effective solutions to environmental problems, for instance. It can mean successful, effectual, efficacious, productive, constructive, okay? So when you're thinking about whether or not something's effective, what would you choose and why? I'm going to go through some pictures here and I want you to think just in your head. Don't need to write anything down, just have a think. How would you assess which one of these two characters is more effective? So we've got Buzz and Woody from Toy Story, Batman and Superman, Ant and Dec, Comic Relief and Children in Need, both do the same thing, but which one do you think is more effective? And how would you evaluate that? And then we've got the Spitfire Fund and Dig for Victory. So you might have thought about things like how entertaining they are, if you're looking at like Ant and Dec. With the charities, you might have thought about how much money they can raise, what activities they do. And it's quite similar with the Dig for Victory and the Spitfire Fund. And we're looking at how much money they could raise and what they could do to maintain that morale. Okay, so divide your page into 4 squares for me. And I want you to think about highly effective, effective, quite effective, and not very effective. Okay. So divide that for me. I'm going to suggest you pause the video to do that now. So we haven't got the pages of the textbook, but what we have got is some websites that we're going to use. So I'll get to that in a sec. But I want you to think of at least 5 examples on your grid to show how the public responded to the Dig for Victory campaign and the methods the government employed to get the message across. Take a different colour pen and repeat the exercise for the Spitfire Fund. Okay. So you're putting these bits of information into the effectiveness grid by there, okay? So 5 examples of how the public responded to Dig for Victory and therefore and the methods it used, therefore how effective they were. And you're going to put the examples into how effective you think they were, and you're going to do that for both of them. Now we haven't got, obviously we may not have the textbook, but you do have the internet, hopefully. So I want you to use this website here. This should give you quite a significant idea about what they both were. And if you haven't, and as well, if you could look use Google and do your own research as well. Use things like the History Channel website is good, BBC History is good. Use those things as well. Okay, so what I want you to do then, once you've done that, hopefully you've paused the video and then come back to me, is I want you to think about a victory speech. So imagine that either the Spitfire campaign or the Dig for Victory campaign is going to win a prize for its importance in raising morale during the war. And I want you to write a victory speech for one of them, explaining why they've won and the role that they played. Okay, thinking about the effectiveness as well and why it's more effective than the other one. So hopefully pause the video, have a go at that for me, and then we're going to think about an exam practice. Okay, this is question 4. This is one of the trickier questions, I would say, on the paper, but it's still mostly because it trips people up because it's worth 12 marks. And people tend to believe that you need to write loads. That's not the case, okay? So explain the connections between any 3 of the following: the role of radio and cinema, propaganda posters, Dig for Victory campaign, and the Spitfire Fund. You are going to pick 3 of those things, and you're going to explain the roles. Now, what's really important is this isn't asking you to describe what each one were. You're going to explain the links, the connections between them, okay? We're not talking about what their role is. We're talking about the connections between them. That's what's important here, okay? So select 3 factors which you think show clear connections. Use your knowledge to explain the 3 factors, making links between them, and aim to cover a number of points to illustrate other factors that are connected, and then conclude with a relevant sentence. So what I've done for you there is given you an example of another question. So we've got conscription of Germany, remilitarization of the Rhineland, and Britain's policy of appeasement, which we did further back, we did in another key question. So I want you to have a little look at how I've answered that, and then use that as a sort of baseline to do yours. Once you've done that, if you could give yourself a mark, and then we're done. Thank you very much.